just don't understand why I should vote in city or county elections. I mean, what do they do? I vote for the president and stuff. Isn't that enough?
A frightening trend is occurring with our most valued resource, voters.
City council elections? Yeah, I guess I didn't vote.
Every vote counts in local elections. Some local contests are decided by just a handful of votes.
Really? So what does city council actually do?
And what about the county board?
Hi, I'm Amy with the League of Women Voters. Local elections matter more than you might think. Ordinances are passed that affect where you can live, where you can ride your bike, even where you can take your dog.
Really? Wow.
Yes, they even make decisions about new businesses, the county fair, and snow plowing.
Geez, I had no idea. We've got to be smarter about this.
If you want to learn more, you can go to our website or come to one of our meetings. You'd be surprised what you'd learn. Oh, and don't be intimidated. It's not only for women.
Remember, the more local, the more impact on you. Be an educated voter. Vote local.
I want to say welcome to the candidate forum for the Janesville City Council election that's coming up. It's presented by the League of Women Voters of Janesville, Forward Janesville, and JATV. I'm Janet Labrie, and I'm an educator and the moderator, and proud of it, by the way, and a moderator for this forum. I want to just tell you briefly about the League of Women Voters. It's a nonpartisan political organization encouraging informed and active participation in government. It influences public policy through education and advocacy. The League of Women Voters does not support or oppose political parties or candidates, but rather takes positions on issues. We often co-sponsor candidate forums such as this one tonight. The election for City Council will be held April 1st, 2014. We encourage everyone to vote. And if you are not yet registered, you may do so tonight at the back table with one of the special registration deputies from the League of Women Voters. Or you can register in person with the city clerk or at the polls on April 1st. There are 4 candidates running for 3 open City Council seats. And they are, in the order starting here on my left, Mark Bobzien, George Brunner, Jim Farrell, Matt Keeley. So we're going to begin. I wanted to mention here our formidable timekeepers, Alan Trevortha and Tom Stahira. Alan is ferocious, so be careful. So this first question, as you introduce yourself, you'll have 2 minutes for, but after that it will be 1 minute. So Ellen will warn you when there's 15 seconds, and then she will flash the stop sign. Okay. So we'll begin with each candidate giving an opening 2-minute statement, and let's start first with Mark Bobzien.
Hi, as she said, my name is Mark Bobzien. I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for putting this forum together. I appreciate the opportunity to talk to the citizens of Janesville and giving my views on a variety of topics. I was born and raised in Janesville. I graduated from Parker High School in 76, way back in the 1900s. And I went to University of Wisconsin-Madison, got a degree in journalism, and worked in the newspaper industry for 3 years. And deciding that wasn't the career path for me, I moved back to Janesville and was hired on the fire department. I've been a fire department member for almost 28 years, retired in December of 2012. I've tried to take an active role in volunteer efforts through our firefighter charities, helping out when I could. I see running for city council as just another way to volunteer my services to the city. I've taken a great interest in city politics, in how the city is run, and I appreciate the opportunity to run for City Council. Thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thank you. My name is George Bruner, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening to present my views on the various issues. I was born in a small town called Owen, Wisconsin, but I spent my youth and my young adulthood in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, having graduated from Chippewa Falls High School in 1958. I served in the United States Air Force for 4 years, serving during the Cuban crisis, and I'm a Vietnam-era veteran. I came to Janesville following my time in the Air Force, and that was in December of 1963. January 1st, 1964, I began my career on the Janesville Police Department and retired from the police department after over 40 years of service to the city of Janesville. While working as full-time as a police officer, I returned to college, attending UW Rock County, where in 1971 I earned an associate degree in science. I then went on to the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, where I earned a bachelor's degree in sociology with a minor in political science. I am a graduate of the FBI National Academy. I am a past director of the Janesville Area Crime Stoppers, of the Janesville Boys and Girls Club, and of the Community Foundation of Southern Wisconsin, having served for, I believe it was 5 years, as the chair of the Grants Committee for the Community Foundation. I'm married. I have 5 children and 11 grandchildren, and I am a candidate for City Council because I wish to serve the citizens of Janesville and to be involved. Currently, I am still involved with the city as I'm a member of the Plan Commission. Thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to April 1st, and I encourage everyone to vote on April 1st.
Thank you. Jim Farrell?
Good evening. I also appreciate being here tonight. I am completing my first year as a city council member. I am retired 2.5 years ago. My career was in industrial accounting. I'm a CPA. I've been a controller, budget manager, cost manager, worked in many different types of industries. I am running again because this has been a wonderful experience to serve the citizens of Janesville. There are many issues that are pending that are important to the future of this city, such as economic development, the placement of our fire station, the handling of our parking plaza. I want to continue serving because I want to be involved, and I think I can contribute very positively in resolving these issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Matt Keeley, without a secondee.
Thank you to the League of Women Voters, JATV, and Forward Janesville for sponsoring this event. My name is Matt Keeley. I'm a 31-year-old lifelong resident of Janesville. I graduated from Parker High School in 2001. I still work at my first job while no longer as dishwasher. I'm the owner-operator of Keeley's Cafe, and I recently purchased the Sizzling Grill. I live on the west side of Janesville with my fiance Hannah and our 3 dogs. In the past, I have served on the Janesville Area Visitor and Convention Bureau. I am running to give back to a community that has been very good to me, both as a young adult and as a business owner. I was first elected to the council in 2012 and have served on many committees while on the city council. And I look forward to seeking re-election in 2014. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will start our process of skipping down one then for each set of questions. So, George Bruner, what do you see as the scope of responsibility for members of the City Council?
The City Council's main duty is to set policy for the city. They're the policy-setting board for the municipal government, and then it's up to the city manager and the department heads then to work within those policy constraints or restrictions. That's actually the main purpose of the council. The other thing is, of course, the council is there for review of various things, whether it's proposed ordinances or to bring forth ordinances to be proposed. and also to make decisions regarding budget. The budgetary responsibilities are probably the greatest responsibility they have besides policy setting.
Thank you. Jim Farrell?
The scope of the city council, in the past year, we hired a new city manager. We also work with that city manager and make sure that he is working positively for the city. We report to the voters, he reports to us. We also are responsible for suggesting ordinances. We are also responsible for passing and reviewing the annual budget, which is extremely important to our city. Our scope includes talking to citizens and being the representative and getting out to our community, listening to citizens, and understanding what the needs of our community are. In other words, we should be actively involved in doing that. So I look at the scope as pretty broad. I tend to maybe micromanage in the fact that I'll ask a lot of questions of our administration.
Thank you. Matt?
Ultimately, the scope of our responsibility in the Janesville City Council is to be accountable to the taxpayers of Janesville. We do this through setting policy, hiring the city manager, continuing to ask questions. To me, it's more than just 2 Monday nights a month. It's going to look at sites, talk to residents, attend functions, and do the best you can do to make Janesville a better place to live for both ourselves and our neighbors.
Thank you. Mark?
The responsibility of the city council, I believe, is to be responsive to its citizens. We're elected by the citizens, and we should respond to their wants and needs. We also are the city council is a policy-making board, as others have said. It's a council to hire our city manager, set policy, and have the city staff follow that policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Now on to question number 2. Jim Farrell, please identify the city boards, commissions, and/or committees on which you have served, or in any other ways which you have served Janesville.
I have been a member of the Janesville Sustainability Committee, the Janesville Audit Committee. I've been also on the Leisure Services Committee, and I have been very active in the Janesville Innovation Center, which we just started this year. I've been very actively involved, mentoring some of the businesses out there. I believe my volunteer activities, I volunteer 1 day a week, half a day a week at Roosevelt School. I thoroughly want to give to this community, and I've done a lot since I've been retired, and have learned a lot on those committees. They've all been really worthwhile experiences.
Thank you. Matt?
Since serving on the city council, a few of the boards that I am on the TIF committee. I am the chairperson of the Alcohol License and Advisory Committee. I serve on the Downtown Revitalization Committee and the Audit Committee. Prior to being on council, I was a board member for the Janesville Area Visitor and Convention Bureau, and I also have done volunteer work with Rotary Gardens, the YWCA, and ECHO.
Thank you. Mark?
As I said before, I was a firefighter for more than 27 years here with the city. I was a paramedic and serving the citizens in that regard. And it was a position I thoroughly enjoyed. And I got a lot out of helping people. And this is just another opportunity to help. Like I said, I helped out with firefighter charities. I have been the head groundskeeper and caretaker of Firehouse Park in downtown Janesville for the last 3 years. I've volunteered over the years for a variety of coaching positions with my daughter's soccer, softball, that sort of thing. And this is just another opportunity to continue to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. And George?
Well, I guess my volunteer time within the city of Janesville starts years ago when I volunteered with the Boy Scouts of America, and I spent many, many years working with Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, and I was also a member of the Kashkanan District Board and Committee. So worked with scouting and took many boys from our community wilderness camping and things like that. Previously, I worked on I was elected to the Janesville City Council, and while on the Janesville City Council, I served on the Alcohol License Advisory Committee, the Community Development Authority, the Downtown Development Association, the Ice Arena Advisory Committee, and the Tax Increment Finance Committee. So I've served on several committees within the city.
Thank you. And now we'll go to the next question, and we'll begin with Matt. Matt, what are the top 3 priorities that you would have the new city manager focus on?
If I had to pick the top 3 things for him to focus on, I would, in no particular order, I would like us to work on, obviously, budgeting. I think is going to be a difficult thing. We continue to receive less money from Madison, and I would like to see the use of applied fund balance be, as our savings account, reduced every year. I think currently we have some maintenance and infrastructure issues that need to be addressed. Our streets are in need of repair. We have decisions to make as far as the fire station, so I would wish him to continue moving forward with infrastructure. And I would say the third is obviously economic development and job creation, working with different departments to make Janesville attractive to incoming businesses and doing anything we can do to feasibly bring them to town and help the ones that are here want to stay and expand their business in Janesville.
Thank you. Mark?
First off, I'd like to see our city infrastructure maintained. I think we've fallen down in that regard over the last few years, and that is number one, keeping our infrastructure as strong as it is. Janesville's a beautiful city. We'd like to keep it that way. Secondly, that includes downtown development. I applaud the city's efforts to see some downtown redevelopment projects. And thirdly, I'd like to see the city embrace the Rock River rather than turn its back on it. It is a beautiful asset. We need to use that asset for the aesthetic and economic engine that it is. Thank you.
Thank you. George?
I think budget goes without saying. I think everything comes back to the budget no matter which direction you go. So I think the top 3 things are really to maintain the essential services to the public, to the citizens of Janesville. And by that I mean public safety and public works and those essential services that are needed for the citizens to live comfortably and enjoy the community. After that, I think that the idea of maintaining the infrastructures is very important. As you can see right now, the issue with our streets and some other things, we've got some concerns with the Jackson Street Bridge, which hopefully will be online to be replaced. So the infrastructure is very important. And the last thing is economic development. And I think we really have to work at that, and we have to work at assisting our current businesses to expand. We have to look at attracting new industry and also attracting new commercial business.
Thank you. Jim?
I think the city manager's priorities, economic development, adding jobs. We have far too high of an unemployment rate still in this city. We need to be very creative as far as new incentives for new business, and I think the city manager, one of his key tasks he's going to have facing him, we have some very key people in the city retiring in the next year. The city manager will be making decisions on the hiring of those people, and it's important, I feel, that to manage our personnel and making sure that they're performing the city services and that continue to do that. The infrastructure is the last thing. We need to address our streets. We need to address the fire station. We need to come up with a plan on our parking plaza and our downtown. Those are all his priorities.